Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 1123 of FloWrestling Radio, live from Austin, Texas. To my right, James Dean Rader. I'm Christian Piles, if I didn't mention that. To the left, David Bray. To the left, Tyler Meisinger. And joining us from Waverly, Iowa, three-time D3 national champion and newly minted Iowa Hawkeye, Massoma Endene. Massoma, thank you so much for hopping on. How are you this morning? Actually, it's afternoon.
Yeah, good. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely.
Excited.
Yes, sir. Excited to have you on. Obviously, you made big news yesterday announcing your transfer to wrestle for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Just talk a little bit about that decision, what all went into it, and why you decided to join Iowa.
Well, at first, after season was over, I was looking for RTCs to join. I luckily was given an opportunity to have another year with the whole JUCO ruling, getting another year. So I just started looking at possible universities I could train at, and if it worked out and Iowa came about and I had the opportunity to train there and I know I could be around the best partners, and have the opportunity to train at the RTC after, so it's not really a 1 year thing for me. It's more like future, find a place I can settle in at and train for the next 4, 5, 6 years, so that's what really inspired me there.
Now, a year ago, you considered leaving Wartburg and going to Wisconsin. What is it about this scenario, or what did you learn from that time that made it, okay, now I know I want to do this, and what kind of brought you back to Wartburg for last year? What's a little different this year?
Ultimately, coming back to Wartburg, I think just change was needed for me. I just didn't feel at home at the situation I had, and nothing against anyone there. It just wasn't right for me. I feel like I'm really specific, I guess. I don't know. But this situation, I feel as if the coaches really, were able to see my vision of what I wanted, and I know I can be around the best partners in the room as well that are going to push me and take me to that next level, and allow me to accomplish my goal of being a national champion. That's what I'm thinking of. And outside of that, in a larger view, be a world champion, Olympic champion, thinking ahead. So, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your story. Your start in the sport of wrestling. You're from Texas originally, the Dallas area. How did you get, so elite? You were kind of off the radar, and then you go to Wartburg, and you just kind of you let the nation on fire, winning 3 national titles. But give us a little bit of your backstory in wrestling.
Well, I started in high school. I used to play soccer. I was a goalkeeper. I started in high school, and my brothers were really good at soccer, and they just kind of told me they knew what it took to go to college for soccer, and for soccer to bring you to the next level, and they knew I wasn't there yet. So they told me to maybe try a different sport, and my best friend was in wrestling, and I tried out wrestling, and I really liked it. I think sometimes starting something new, I think is really good. I think it allowed me to have like a fire to just keep on learning and trying to get to that next level. So I just surrounded myself with people that were really good and just hopped in the car, followed people to practices, club practices, and just eventually I just started getting a little bit better and better. Then I went to Iowa Lakes Community College. I followed my friend there as well. My best friend is there as well. And then last minute he bailed on me, so I went to college by myself.
Oh, man.
It was a little scary. Yeah, it was a little scary, but then I did 2 years at Iowa Lakes, and our head coach, Cody Ellis, went to Wartburg College, and that was like a connection there. So a group of like 5 of us came here to Wartburg all at the same time and loved it ever since.
Well, that's great. It's obviously been a good situation for you. Now, you said you started in high school. Is that like 9th grade? Is that when you began wrestling?
So I was in the room around 9th grade, but the first time I really competed was my sophomore year. And then I was a JV state champion.
Let's go.
And and then my junior year, I made it to state. I went 1-2, and then my senior year I took 5th place.
Holy cow.
So you've gone from JV as a sophomore to wrestling at the University of Iowa now and going on to achieve Olympic aspirations. Not bad.
That's insane.
God's blessed me with a lot of talent, so I just want to keep on, seeing how far I can take it.
So now it's still, you dipped your toe in the water last year with U23s, and you make that team, and you go overseas, wrestle in Albania at the U23 World Championships. But what gives you confidence, like, all right, I'm going to be able to make the jump from a D3 champion to I'm going to be wrestling the Iowa schedule in the Big Ten, wrestling the NCAAs? What gives you that confidence that you're going to be able to be a national champion at the Division I level?
I think just having faith and sticking to the process of, I can't see the future, right? But at no point in my life did I ever think I was going to be a national champion when I first came to college, right? But just staying consistent, and I believe that with consistency and keeping my goals in mind and staying focused, it's all going to play out. I'm just going to stay at it and try to become the best wrestler I can be.
Now, for the Iowa fans who maybe haven't seen you wrestle yet, give them a little. Why don't you describe your style? Then, what do they have in store to see when you're wrestling for them at Carver Hawkeye?
I like scoring points. I just like keep trying to highlight reel. That's what I try to do. Some cool things I do at practice and try to correlate it into matches. I just try to be the person that you guys, go to the duels to watch and have fun watching. So I want to be entertaining. So
awesome.
I guess you guys are going to have to see.
Yeah, now we could see you wrestle. Iowa fans could watch you wrestle this week. You're competing at the U.S. Open. Discuss your preparation for that, your expectations headed into Vegas.
Yeah, I wrestled at Pan Am's a couple weeks ago, so that was definitely good to have some competition, because before that would be Worlds freestyle-wise. So Pan Am's really allowed me to, get on the mat again and get that feel for freestyle and work parterre. So I feel really prepared. I'm going to go out there, try to put on a show, and surprise some people.
Now, you're going to be united when you go to Iowa. You're going to be united with another Texan, Angelo Ferrari. He's looking like the 84 for them next year. How excited are you to train alongside Angelo?
I'm really excited. Angelo, Gabe Arnold, Buchanan just won the national title. I don't know how much I'll wrestle with Keeter. He's kind of big, but there's so many partners that I can go with and just keep on picking their brains. Phenomenal coaches, I can pick their brains. So yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, I believe he's going to be a national champion this year. So being around someone like that, the same way I talked about before when I started wrestling, just being around people and following what they do, and I think that's what takes you to the next level.
Now, I feel like you mentioned you had trained some at Iowa. Who were you able to train with, if so, and what were those goes like?
Training at Iowa?
Yeah, have you been able to train, like, have any practices there at any point?
I just worked out one time with Jacob Warner. It was good. I like him. I was there for an hour training with him.
Oh, gotcha.
So it was
gotcha.
good. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, man, it's been really cool having you on. I don't know if you have any questions for Massoma before we let you go. Looks like David's got one.
I got one, yeah, because at the All-Star Classic, I think you hit maybe the most violent wrist snap in the history of the earth. And I just got to know, like, when did that enter your arsenal?
So I have a coach here at Wartburg. He could go with my CT, and just practicing with him, just doing random stuff at practice, right? Like I learned it at practice, just messing around, and yeah, at practice sometimes it gets violent. It's really good, and I just started doing it in my matches, and it actually worked. So yeah.
That's actually a more effective move in freestyle. That's like a straight 4 in freestyle, feet to back.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah. It's fun. I mean, I've been trying a lot of different things. I think watching foreign people wrestle as well, they have so many tricks in their bag, right? Like they play possum, and then before you know, you're on your back, right? So that's the type of stuff I try to watch and replicate at practice and try to do in matches as well.
Do you have a favorite international wrestler?
Probably say I watch a lot of Sidikov, try to learn stuff he does, and Sadulayev as well. He has some tricky stuff, so I like that.
Now, you were in Albania for U23s. Were you able to stay for any of the Senior World Championships? Because Sadulayev was there and wrestled, of course.
Yes, I stayed for seniors. Actually, I got done. Didn't place at the tournament. However, I went to Greece right after, so that was pretty cool. And then we came back and watched seniors and got to watch David Taylor and Sadulayev wrestle each other, which was insane. I've never watched senior level until then, so that was really cool to see that stuff. And his finals match against Gasimpur, that was insane.
That's
so,
semi, yeah.
Yeah.
When he hit that crazy, whatever you call it, it's basically just a snap down.
Yeah, semi, yeah.
That was crazy. Yeah, that's definitely.
Also, I like watching Musakayev. Musakayev is
gosh.
another. He gets a little tired though.
He gets more than a little tired. More than a little.
Cold spray fixes all.
Yeah, exactly. But those are my favorite top 3 guys right there.
Awesome. That's definitely a good group. Well, man, it's we've got so much to get to with this show, the U.S. Open. Cannot wait to watch you wrestle there. Any, obviously you're a fan of the sport as well as a high-level competitor. Any particular storylines for the week that you're excited about?
I'm excited. Really good friend of mine, Parker Kekais. I'm excited to see how he does in freestyle. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think he's going to do really good. So I'm excited to see how he does in that. And yeah, that's it. I just want to see how he correlates into freestyle. And I think he's going to do really good. Shock some people.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I think we're all really excited to see Parker wrestle some freestyle. Well, Massoma, I guess we'll be seeing you in like just a couple of days, so that's really cool. Yeah. Can't wait to watch you wrestle. Really appreciate you coming on. Anything else before we let you go get back to your day?
No, just thank y'all for having me on, and I can't wait to wrestle in the Iowa singlet. Awesome. Have a lot of people watching. Yeah,
absolutely. We can't wait for that. Thanks so much, Massoma, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
See you guys.
All right, goodbye. Okay, there it is. Very cool, exciting. Of course, yesterday we were talking around this a little bit, but now officially, really exciting to have Massoma on. Excited to see what he can do next year for Iowa at 197. A big pickup for the Hawks as they, the graduation of Stephen Buchanan, they definitely had a need there, and he definitely fills that.
Yeah, and just his trajectory, his growth trajectory. I mean, how crazy. He started as a sophomore in high school. It's nuts.
Texas has had some of that, right? With, Tervel was really similar. I want to say JD will probably know exactly, but I'm pretty sure he didn't.
Like freshman year.
Freshman or sophomore, something like that. And
also, same with Usman.
Right. So Texas, we don't even have to start early in Texas.
No.
Maybe Caleb should not have started wrestling.
So I think the real takeaway here is, if you're good in Texas, go to UNK.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's my takeaway. I mean, he had a good career at Wartburg, but
he only
maybe could have been better. Only won 3. Maybe could have won 4.
He only won every single year he went. But you're right. You know what? Maybe
if he doesn't win a UFC belt or an Olympic medal, might have made the wrong choice.
Yeah, that's true. That could really could come back to bite him. So no, that's exciting stuff. And what's cool about the transfer is I feel, with so many of these guys, you have this proving ground of high school wrestling, which is like an insanely rigorous proving ground to see. But like we don't know really what does it mean to have won D3 and how will that translate at the next level. And he has a pretty limited freestyle ledger as well, right? We haven't seen him because he's such a I don't know if late bloomer, but he's late to the sport, right? So it's really interesting. It's very rare that you see someone with this kind of a trajectory this day in Division I wrestling, right?
Rockenstock's calling you out in the chat. He said CP has no excuse of being late to the wrestling scene now.
I don't know what that means exactly.
Because you started wrestling as a junior in high school.
Senior.
That's right. 2 years behind. I mean,
I know. You know what? But honestly, if I had
gone on a JUCO program somewhere,
I know. That would have been so bad. I imagine. Yeah, if I started as a freshman, maybe me and Massoma would have a similar story. Mm-hmm. It's possible. It's just one of the great what ifs in wrestling. Unfortunately, I'm just a podcaster now. No excuses. I make no excuses. Who knows what could have been. So exciting stuff. Where to next?
Well, it is kind of, or it sparks an interesting discussion in my brain, at least, of when kind of is the proper age to get your son or daughter involved in wrestling, at least at a competitive level. It was interesting to hear him be like, for me, it was an advantage. I had this great athletic base playing other sports, and then that made me, starting late, gave me a desire to catch up and to soak up as much as I could. And that's going to help you, when you get to your 4th, 5th year of college and you, the tread on your tires is still there compared to some guys who started going hard when they were 6 years old.
I think there's a lot of ways to do it, honestly. I think a kid can start wrestling really young, but I think being single-threaded through it is maybe not the tactic. Like you were saying, build that athletic base, have them doing other sports and things like that. I mean, I think if you are just focused on wrestling and super strict, like tons of competition, I think that does, by the time you get to high school or college, can be a negative for sure. I don't think there's any singular right answer.
Now, I do think Endene's a special case in terms of not stepping on a wrestling mat until freshman year, toying around for a little bit, and then being able to immediately, within 4 years, be a JUCO national champion, and then a year later, a Division III national champion. That is, like, special. That's not the norm.
He's different, right? He's different, very clearly.
One thing he said that I thought was interesting was that, like, he had brothers who were high-level soccer players, and so they were already thinking about, like, high-level college soccer and all that. I think one of the things that's really helpful for any young athlete is, like, if the further levels of the sport or of sports in general can be, like, demystified a little bit, where you know what college looks like and you know what – I think some of the times, like, when – you're an 8-year-old and all you think about is 8U, sports or, low-level sports. Like, you're not maybe not ready for the next transition or the next. But if you're at any level and you're kind of looking at the next level or the next few levels up and you're seeing what the people at those levels are doing, I think even if you're maybe not performing at that level right away, when you get to that transition, you're not shocked by, oh, wait, I was really good when I was 10. Why am I, like that? I think that helps, like seeing college level athletes in another sport. Probably he was ready for looking like, hey, what does this look like when I get to wrestling?
Yeah, and if you have that athletic base already built and you go to a good program, it's like the stuff is not as complicated as, like, it was harder for me to learn because I wasn't a very good athlete. But if you have a good athletic base and know how to use your body and move it well, and you have good coaching, like, you can get good pretty quick, like, on the base aspects of wrestling.
Well, it's funny, Tony Soprano memed him. They were about soccer. They were like, this game is not for you.
You have the makings of a varsity.
Like for AGA? No, that's what.
No. The sports owner guy, because he's trying to get into the poker game, and he just takes.
Oh yeah.
Like, this game is not for you.
Yeah, that's right. And then he ends up giving.
He lets him in, and
then he ends up giving his
card to his daughter.
Yeah, his. No, that's different. The makings of varsity athlete. That was what Junior said about Tony. No, that game was not for him. Anyway.
But
you can't just respond to our producer. And
it's also
he keeps talking to me. I don't know what to do.
Hilarious that they're like, yeah, you don't have the makings of a college soccer player. So now go try this new sport now that you're already in high school and completely pivot. And then he's like, well, this sport is for me.
That's great.
Should we move on to U.S. Open?
We should.
All right, Bray, we brought you on today because you are our high school expert, probably the most knowledgeable high school wrestling person in the country, maybe. Nobody's in the weeds as much as you. So
love the weeds.
What should we be looking forward to U20s? Because it's a big week, not just for senior level men's freestyle, but U17 and U20 as well.
U20 is so much fun. Well, for one, last year we had 9 medals at the U20 World Championships, which is insane. We almost had 10. We were like this close to 10 world medals. So we got to try to follow up a really good performance. But it's such a fun tournament because you have like the highest level high school guys and then the guys who have been in the college room for a year, every once in a while, 2 years. And so it's really a lot of times setting the stage for like who are going to be impact guys on the NCAA scene, moving forward. So yeah, so many things to look forward to. I'll have a preview coming out soon for U20s, but just a few questions that we can kind of get into that I think are going to be really fun. One weight class that I have circled is 70 kilos because we got PJ Duke, He's returning world team member. He was bronze medalist last year at U20s. And one of the biggest challengers for him at 70 kilos is going to be Landon Robidoux. And this is not a guy that people would have probably considered to be much of a challenge for Duke a year ago. But Robidoux has had a really solid year. Got a win at Who's Number One. Looked really good, won Super 32. And this is a potential future Penn State, Oklahoma State matchup that we're going to be seeing for years to come. What do you guys think about the Robidoux Duke matchup?
Everything I think is that PJ is just one of the bigger favorites of any weight class at the U.S. Open. And
You're a big PJ guy. I'm not saying it's
I don't know what else
unwarranted.
What's not to like?
What's the alternative?
No, I'm not saying it's not warranted, but like you ride for him as much as anybody.
I think the time is now to ride for. I think he's just one of those short list guys that's going to be really, really special. And I think you talk to people around the sport, not just affiliated with PJ or Penn State, they're like, this is the guy. This is a guy that's like, I'll put him in the lineup, win a national title right away. He's a guy that's going to be contending for senior world teams maybe this year, but if not this year, down the line. And I just think he is a separate sort of, he should be, I think how much we've talked about Marcus Blaze, right? I think he is in that, I think we will look back and he's in that tier, in that group. He's one of those special guys. And that's just, and honestly, I say that not just from watching him, but just more so like the conversations I have with people that I really feel like understand the sport and see it on a much deeper level than I do are like, no, this guy is just so in that next group. And so that's just what
Remember when he got in a boxing match with Alec Bentalio?
That was crazy.
Omaha.
Probably one of the biggest questions around PJ Duke, honestly, coming to the U.S. Open was U20s or seniors.
Right.
And I think there's a really good chance he's going to make a run at the World Team Trials, Senior World Team Trials in a few weeks. So the goal, I think, for him is win this tournament, get the bye to the U20 World Team Trials finals, and then go do seniors.
Yeah, we should say for U17, it's the World Team Trials this week. But for U20s, that's not until Ohio last weekend in May. This is just you win, you get to sit automatically to the best of three finals. So kind of like a Final X type situation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably the marquee weight class of U20s is 65 kilos because you've got another returning world medalist, Bo Bassett. He's the most popular high school wrestler in America right now. And there have only been two high school wrestlers who have really pushed him in the last year. One was Sergio Vega at this tournament a year ago. It was a 14-12 round of 16 match. Bassett was like leading on criteria late. Vega was looking to score. Bassett was able to get 2 more points. It was like a crazy 14-12 match. That was awesome. And then Daniel Zepeda, who is the last high school wrestler to beat Bo Bassett, beat him at Who's Number One. Then, of course, Bassett won this year at Who's Number One. And then they had the rubber match in Super 32 finals. Overtime, incredible match. Both those guys in the field. Do you give either of those guys a shot against Bo Bassett?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely. I think Vega especially, just showing that he could do it in freestyle. Zepeda in freestyle, I feel like he's better at folk style right now. I think that's his preferred style. But Sergio seems to have, the fact that he was able to challenge him a year ago, that was a year where Bo Bassett was a U20 medalist, right? Like, Sergio's right there. So I think Sergio is the best one, potential challenge. Is he, how much better has he gotten compared to how much better Bo's gotten? I think Bo's a reasonable favorite, but freestyle matches, weird things can happen, right? And someone like Bo who wrestles in so many exchanges, it doesn't take but one to go wrong for it to go the other way. And Sergio's going to thrive in those exchanges as well, right? He's great in counters. He's great. He can generate his own offense. The thing is, Sergio's going to want to attack legs, and that's really, with as good as Bo is with short offense and go-behinds, that's where it can get dicey.
Well, I'm excited this is going to be a real gauge for Sergio. We're going to see, is he going to be a guy who's going to potentially get in that starting lineup next year? And I think right now that's very much a real possibility. And if so, where is he going to stack up against your top 12, 16 guys in the country?
Yeah, I'm really curious about that too. And not only are these guys going to have these high school competitors, but there are quite a few like really relevant college guys in the weight. Most notably, you've got Luke Stanich, who was an All-American. Stanich is super interesting because 2024 All-American at 125, and then he bumped up to 141 this year for Lehigh in red shirt. And I think a lot of people kind of saw that and were like, all right, he doesn't want to make weight. He's redshirting. Is he big enough? And then he beats Sergio Lemley. He beats CJ Composto. Who else did he beat? He beat another All-American.
Cannon.
Maybe Cannon. Maybe I think he beat somebody else too. But proved himself that 141. He's big enough there. I don't know freestyle wise if you consider him like a real threat at this weight, but I think he's super interesting. I think you got to keep an eye on Stanich. And who knows if he wins this thing? I don't think I'd be completely shocked.
No, I wouldn't be either. Although, it seems like Bo is for sure the favorite.
I'd be pretty surprised if Luke Stanich won this.
I don't know. Yeah.
You sit right next to John Kozak, who's our foremost Lehighman. He's basically on staff.
He's rubbing off on me a little bit.
Yeah, I think I could be having a little bit of Kozak osmosis.
Okay. A couple other returning placers at the weight. Pearson Manville, Arizona State. He's back in here. Cornell's Gabriel Boysu's in the mix too. So anyway, 65 should be fun.
86, potential fun matchup between McAnally and St. Clair. How do we feel about that matchup?
Yeah, I mean, it's really exciting. I think McAnally's definitely a favorite. But Sinclair, he's the one that's made teams in the past. But I'm curious, is Sinclair he's doing both? He's registered for both, I believe.
Yeah, he's registered 86 for U20 and 92 for seniors. So I don't know. You kind of wonder if like you register for both and then like decide at last minute what you're going to do. I don't know.
I think you should do juniors.
Yeah, I do too. Although 92.
Although he won last year this and then didn't win the trials. Maybe he goes, all right, I'll do seniors here and then just go win the trials later.
Win the trials.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Barr's out of the field this year, but McAnally.
Barr's aged out, right?
Aged out, yeah.
And with the pin, Aiden Sinclair is the 4 seed at 92, senior.
Yeah.
Or like that's Kozak's prediction.
Yeah.
I don't think those are out yet, but.
No, I mean, it'd be good for him to do both. It's doing 2 different weights is kind of odd to me. But anyway, no, I like that match a lot. I think McAnally's got a little more offense. I think Aiden may have a little more savvy in the scrambles and parterre, but I think that favors Max.
I think it's going to be one of those matches that just really, fuels the conversation around 184 pounds next year at the NCAA level. Because if Sinclair looks really, really good against, I think right now Max McAnally, they're like, he's one of the favorites to win the whole thing. If Sinclair looks like he's in the mix, then, that'll be really fun.
It's a good 184 preview for sure.
Oklahoma State's incoming recruiting class can be on full effect, kind of like I was talking about with Vega. How many champs do you think they can get here?
I mean, it's really interesting. I think
D?
Vega's got a shot. D. Lockett, probably the favorite.
We mentioned Rabadou.
Rabadou's in the mix. He could have really strong performance. I think Ronnie Ramirez is interesting at 57 because he's big for that weight. I think you probably favor Anthony Knox to win that weight class. Kilkiri had a really strong performance, was in the finals last year, but Ronnie Ramirez, he's looked really good throughout the year. So he's going to be a big factor for them. So yeah, Oklahoma State fans, you got to watch U20s. They got a bunch of guys in the mix.
They're the last couple days along with men's freestyle.
They're Saturday and Sunday for U20.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And when are U17s?
It's also Saturday, Sunday.
Also big weekend.
Yep.
For the freestylers. All right, we're not going to get too into the weeds on U17 World Team Trials. This is kind of a lot of times the breakout, I feel like, for a lot of those U17 guys, where this is where we learn about them, and then they continue on to go be top recruits.
Absolutely. Already big stars, Jaden James in the mix, a bunch of other really good, young high school guys. But yeah, U17 is going to be super fun.
All right, to preview senior men's freestyle, instead of just doing our normal kind of, all right, we're running weight by weight, predicting, we're going to do a little have a little draft
Yeah.
and talk about who we want on our teams. We're gonna draft teams of 5 wrestlers, and we're just going placement points.
Yeah, placement points.
Just placement points is how we're scoring this.
And the winner of this gets 1 free half hour of craps at the table.
And a super coffee?
And a super coffee.
Okay.
Well, you have to like set a limit for
It's a free half hour.
how much can you win.
JD.
You can't win if you don't bet.
JD. It's a free half hour.
Free half hour. I'm in for this. Yeah.
Tyler, do a random generator for us so we can get this order.
Oh, wow.
Ready? Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Generate draft order. We got Tyler, JD, CP, David.
Oh, wow.
We're going
Go frickin' figure.
Okay. So
All right, you get started. All right, get Will Luan off the board here.
CP, David.
Yup.
All right, let me look at these seeds.
Take your time.
Yeah, definitely. Lord, first
This
pick.
could be tough radio.
Yeah, maybe I'm already hating this idea.
Oh man, so who's the biggest lock? It's got to be Kyle Snyder,
There you
right?
go.
Yeah.
Good. Yes.
Take him.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Kyle
Get him out
Snyder.
of here.
Okay,
Beat it.
boom, he's gone.
All right.
For
My
some
turn?
reason, I can't get it. Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to say Trent Hidley.
I like that.
That's a good pick. Trent Hindley's a good pick.
Okay.
Give it to me real quick. Let me see. I'm gonna go. I think the next. I'm going. Give me a little bit of lightning.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Luke Roldahl.
That was almost my first pick.
Okay, that's insane. But yep.
Keep sleeping on Dab. Keep sleeping on Dab.
Dude,
No, wait till you see my second pick.
Luke is one of the biggest favorites for sure. You don't think so?
No, I think he is.
I think I definitely think he is. All right, let me take one more peek because I had my mindset on Lillard, and I got to make 2 picks right here.
Yeah, 2 piece of picks.
All right, I got 2 piece of picks. Oh my gosh, let me go. Oh boy, let me just have Marcus Blaze and Jesse Mendez. Let's do that, I guess.
Okay.
Blaze? That 61 feels.
I know. I didn't have much time to think.
I like it. I like the speed.
Yeah, I like it for me.
Okay.
I'm going.
You want Blaze and Mendez.
That's right.
Give me. I feel great about this. I'm glad this guy slid to me. Give me the great American hero,
Yeah, I was thinking.
Ryan Hendrickson.
How? So
I love that.
do we
pick.
get? How does freestyle
placement points?
Wait,
Don't worry
okay.
about
All
it. Don't
placement
overthink it.
Okay, there's no bonus points.
Nope.
Okay, good to know. JD. Oh, I don't know what. I
Oh, is
just
it back to me?
Yeah, James.
Give me
I think Wyatt's winning this weight.
Cal Dake.
Woo!
Good pick.
I thought about.
If he doesn't if Zahid beats him, I still feel confident in at least second place points there.
You're feeling good.
Although Parker,
It's a good pick, Parker.
Okay.
No, I almost picked Dake. I just feel like the field. Man. So now it's T-Bone for 2.
This is tough.
This is gonna be tough. All right, now Will.
I get 2.
Will Luan and Alec Patelli are both still on the board. You could go bang bang. Basically guarantee
Oh my goodness.
a placer.
I don't know if I want Zahid or if I want to go with someone at 74.
Okay.
74 is tough.
I don't either. I know what you want.
I know what I want. Come on.
All right.
This.
Give me. Well, actually, you know, I could take
do both, bro.
I'm gonna take. All right, I'll take both. I will do Zahid Valencia and David Carr.
There you go.
Dang. Those were the picks to make.
Thank you.
Dude, he's this. Yeah.
You don't like the way I'm doing this sheet?
No, it's so beneficial for you.
Oh, okay.
Your team's gonna be.
Oh, for some reason,
Tough to beat.
Command Shift X is not working for strike through, so I have
Okay.
to do this.
All right. Wow.
thing every time.
Well, I'll
But-
put in an IT ticket.
Yeah,
on that.
thank you. I just know
Let 'em
Spade's
know.
going to be in the chat like, Tyler, there's a shortcut for this. I don't care.
Yeah, dude, I love
the
it.
hell
Space.
up.
Look at this. Look at this shot. this is crazy.
I didn't realize my head was in
it's like the
corner
the
that.
Brady Bunch.
Brady Bunch.
Yes, it's half Brit. Yeah,
It's just nerds.
yeah. This is
Of wrestling nerds.
That's great.
All right,
good, quick
with
and
my third pick, right? This is my third pick. I'm going to go David Carr.
I already picked him.
he's already picked. That's illegal.
All right, I got lost in the serpentine a little bit.
You get Nate Carr. Get Nate Jr.
Did you pick? All right, well then I guess I'll get Mitchell.
Okay.
All right.
You want Mitchell?
You know who I want? John Michael Diakomahalis.
Okay.
Feeling good about it. And if it goes badly,
Yanni D.
it's okay.
David?
I'm going to stick with my practice of not thinking about it, and I'm going to go with James Green and Hamity.
I don't know why. I'm like
Hammy's good
randomly
pick.
doing 2 names and randomly doing 1 name.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine.
There's no rhyme or reason to this.
Dang.
Okay.
Now I'm up again. Okay.
So-
I was going to take...
Let me strike these through.
Strike him.
Hit him with a strike through.
Strike those for the record. From the record.
And you
Yusuf
did.
Lilly
James
is still on the
Green.
board. I'm hoping he's still around for the 5th round. You know what? My team's gonna be fire. Just to be honest.
What else did you pick?
Let me get. Is it time for a little guapo? It could be. I want. All right, I'm gonna be fast here.
No, you won't.
You're already not
I'm
fast.
already not fast. I know. I'm kind of thrown here.
And now you're
Give me
just
Kennedy
stalling.
Monday.
There we go.
Kennedy Monday.
I don't hate it.
Boom.
I kind of love it.
Back to me.
Point scoring potential of this guy's insane.
McFadden's still on the board.
I think he's. I think he's out.
Oh, well,
That's why you should draft him.
I definitely didn't know that.
He, Gwiz, he's still on the board.
It's true.
Is it me?
Actually, shout out Gwiz. He retired.
Jesse!
Jesse Mendez. That's a good pick.
But he's already off the
He's
board.
already on
dog.
David's team. Dang it.
JD is a
Would you, all right. Can you have Marcus Blaze?
Yeah.
All right. Well, now I gotta rethink.
Jessica Mendez.
I could get Jessica Mendez. I'm not sure how she'll place. I haven't looked at her field. Jack Pine Savage still on the board.
Yeah. Oh,
He
yeah.
is. He is.
Undrafted.
But do I want to take him?
I think that's a good
only,
pick.
Only you can answer that question.
Joey McKenna. Dayton, but that field. I don't know the bracket.
We're so scared of the field that only one person's been taken.
That's what I'm saying.
I know. Well, I want to like if you could see their path and be like,
You don't get the path.
I don't get the path. So give me the Jack Pine Savage Hayden Zilmer.
Yeah, that's a
All
good pick. That's a good
That's
pick.
a good pick.
All right. Who's up?
I believe it's me.
For 2.
For 2. This is such
Silver
a...
have 2 L's?
Bro, you have... Doing 5 exactly is like the most slanted thing for Tyler.
Okay. Man, I don't know who I want, though, still. I
Dude,
know
you-
it feels slanted,
You're
but
not even on Michigan if you don't take Willowan or Alex Montelio.
I'm just not going to pick any Michigan guys just to like stay out of it, you know?
Just to stay out of
Yeah,
it. Just to avoid the drama.
I would just stay out of it.
You know what?
I am going to pick. Oh my God, who do I want? I told the story about this guy last show.
Patrick
Dang
Brophy.
it. Good pick.
I'm gonna go with Evan Wick
Okay.
Because he
Okay.
teched you.
because he teched me.
Did anyone else tech you on this board?
Probably.
Really?
I mean, Alec Pantelio teched me in the room all the time.
That doesn't count.
And for that reason, I'll also pick Alec Pantelio.
There you go.
Oh yeah, staying out of it.
There it is.
Couldn't stay out of it.
Couldn't stay out of it.
Wow. After everything you and Willowan have been through, you're going to turn your back on him.
Dang, dude.
Very openly.
Well, just like on the 70 kg circuit, you know, like Alec he's just consistently been there.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Did my
I've been through a lot. I've been through equal amount of things
I don't
with
know.
Alec and Will.
Not that equal.
show me the board?
Okay.
Give me.
He's gonna draft Kyle Snyder. Watch.
I'll go. Chance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that.
I was looking at Chance. Mm-hmm. I just think this person's gonna have a good tournament. So I'm going Real Woods. No one was ever gonna take
Dude,
him
I thought about that.
because he's in Michigan.
Yep, that's literally why.
I mean, when we're just going placement points, that's a crazy pick. When
It's not gonna be crazy when he wins the U.S. Open, beating Jesse Mendez.
Joey McKenna's on the board, Bo Bartlett.
Listen,
I'm gonna end this with Mike Mock.
Okay,
nice guy. I just
good pick.
wanted a pick that's
Dang it,
out
that's
there
a good
that
pick.
looks like it's not a high seed guy.
Should have rode with the Shazer.
How do you spell mock? How do you abbreviate mock?
MACCH.
2 C's.
Nobody puts the H on there.
I do.
Everyone does.
Okay.
When you say with Mike Mock,
Mock.
it's not Mike Mach.
I feel good about this this lineup that I
All right. Let me create a poll.
Yeah, frick.
I'm gonna ask the chat who's winning this.
Dang.
I like my team.
We love our guys. I've got the Iowa singlet next to me, so I can really say we like our guys. We love our guys. I have the wild card team. Yanni off injury.
I feel good
Kennedy
about
Monday.
your first 2 picks. I feel great about.
Yeah, I really had some fun.
The only thing
Here's reality.
when JD picked Chance, like Chance is obviously a great pick, but I just feel like he's not like he's almost not guaranteed, but like
Low floor though.
yeah, very
He's
low
capped
floor.
top.
Like he's
no,
gonna,
low ceiling,
high floor,
but-
high floor.
or high floor. Excuse me, high floor.
yeah, high floor.
Low ceiling.
Whatever.
But like I just feel like the chances of him beating Dacre.
Okay, well, same with
Or is it
Pantaleo. No offense.
You had a
Talking
great,
about
could
Alec
win.
has beaten like everyone at that weight
Alec
except for James
could
Green.
win 70.
True,
Yeah.
true,
He could win.
true. Alec
Yeah.
could win.
Tyler had a great start. I don't know if he might have done fall off.
You literally-
Evan
your
Witt-
last
Evan Witt
pick-
could
Your
win.
last 2 picks were Kennedy Monday and Real Woods.
That's my point. My picks are so much better than yours.
Actually, I like Tyler's team too.
Yeah.
He could get 5 champs.
I could. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
And
David
it's not even like that crazy.
David's is
It'd be pretty crazy.
I like David's. Honestly, I feel like he has
But having 61 and a 65 guy, your first 2, like
Yeah,
big
it's
gamble,
tough.
big gamble.
Well, you know what? Sometimes
that's what
You got to spend money to make money.
the thing with me and my team, it really embodies my newfound love of gambling and craps. It's like I'm taking chances.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. You only
and-
play the pass line.
And you don't know me. And also,
I taught you craps.
regardless of whether I win or lose this, I'm gonna spend at least 30 minutes at the craps table. You can't take that away from me.
Yeah.
People are making fun of me for not knowing hotkeys on sheets. Space said Tyler knows hotkeys and shortcuts for video editing, but refuses to up his spreadsheet game. Very disrespectful.
It is disrespectful of the game.
Then he was talking all this trash about how column A wasn't tightened up, so I tightened it up for him.
It is tight. It's so tight.
So tight. Yeah, no,
Chase White said JD not picking DeShazer is wild.
that is crazy.
That's crazy.
I gave him enough pub.
Yeah.
That is crazy. It really be your own people.
People are like, man, no one picked Seth Gross.
You picked his best
Dude,
friend,
honestly,
Hayden Zilmer.
Seth Gross.
I did.
Seth
But I
Gross
didn't
is
pick
like-
anybody in the 57 field.
That's true.
Seth Gross looked so good against DeSanto.
I thought about taking Groves.
I did too. I really did. Yeah.
Then everyone got so scared of
let's look at-
61,
let's look
only
at-
one got drafted.
Let's look at who did not get drafted now.
Will Lewan.
Dayton Fix.
Dayton. Yeah.
Nashawn Garrett, Seth Gross. I mean, 61 is crazy.
I almost took Jax just because it'd be fun.
I know.
Yeah. I almost picked DeSanto because it would be fun.
Yes, that's fun. Also, could like Carson Karchler just mess around and do awesome at 79? Like, there's so many guys.
He is good at freestyle.
He's really good at freestyle. Mm-hmm. I feel like the freestyle, just everything about the rule set is better for him than the 7 minutes of whatever. Should we have taken
Endene?
Should we have taken Endene?
I'm curious about that. Yeah. 97.
We might have made a big mistake, boys. It was right in front of us, literally in front of our face. We still have the picture on the display of Endene.
What do you think? I feel like a match with him and Aiello is a really big test. Aiello is super tough.
Aiello can score a lot of points.
He looked good,
be a good match.
against Coleman at the Lee Ono card.
Yes,
He
he
really,
did.
he really did.
Yeah. Jay's tough.
No one picked Bo Bartlett.
What's
No.
what's Jay's training situation going to be now that it's just announced? Slay's out at Penn RTC and
Yeah. Well, out makes it sound like
well, yeah, he's
he's leaving. He's moving to Arkansas. He's starting a new thing there after a great run at the Penn RTC, which I don't know the future of it.
Sounds like this will be the end for Doug Zapp too. This is kind of the end of his.
Yeah.
So
Jordan's not competing. McKenna's at Oklahoma State now. Yeah, I don't know.
Penn has been, they've been thoughtful and strategic when they make transitions, and I mean they were all in on the RTC, and maybe it's a time now where they want to, think NIL. I'm not exactly sure, but big thoughtful coaching transition, and maybe they're doing something similar RTC wise.
Yeah. I don't know. We can find out. Well, I think he was on Justin's podcast, so we can listen. I think I just saw that on Twitter right before the show started, so we can find.
Chris Christian said CP has 0 roofers. His team is DQ'd.
That's true. No roofers on the team, but yeah, roof watch.
nobody took Hailstorm.
Dang it.
Justin wasn't in the.
He wasn't on our.
Really, this is Kozak's fault
guesses,
because
yeah.
he didn't even put him in the seeds.
Honestly, Justin Hale He might be a good pick because I think he's entered in like 3 or 4 brackets. So
yeah, he's going to
it's-
place in
yeah.
one of them.
Yeah.
Who was winning?
This is what our
second place, not bad.
yeah,
A lot of love for
put
Yanni
CP
Luguapa. Why
in
not?
second place.
Hey, yo.
JD last in our chat votes.
Turtle wins the race.
Honestly, though,
only been out for
I
5
wonder-
minutes.
I could see a lot of people just be like, just selecting based on whatever, not even knowing who we picked. Mm-hmm. They're like,
I
Tyler.
think people are just clicking names, not they don't even pay attention to the draft.
Those, I think those are most of the votes I'm not getting are probably people doing that.
Oh, okay.
Then the deeper thinkers. Okay. Well, we'll see. This will be fun to revisit and not score tomorrow.
A time old tradition that we love to do.
Yes, exactly.
I will secretly score it, and if
You win.
I win,
We'll find out about it. And if you lose,
that
Yeah.
means I did not do so well.
yeah, I'll do it. And yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we're all gonna do. But there are, a lot of deep feels. I know we're gonna get. Richard Emmel tweeted it, but I think early afternoon we're gonna get the U.S. Open seats for men's freestyle, women's freestyle.
It's early afternoon right now.
I know, but
That's
the
true.
Flights. I think there was a late change being made to the seeds. Let's see. I even asked about it. Maybe I'll have an answer on my phone. I don't.
All right, let's get to questions.
All right. First one. Hold on. I liked this chat from Chris Christian. He said the crew has every shoe binding. DB with the straps, CP with the laces, and JD bringing back the clogs.
Ooh.
Can't bring them back if they never left.
I love how our listeners chat about everyone's fashion. And
Yeah,
everything.
it's one of the, I feel like most podcasts, maybe it's just an issue with our production, but like you don't see the shoes people are wearing often. But ours, you do.
That's why most
know?
podcasts are sleeping. You know,
That's Rogan, one of his big issues.
You don't see the shoes.
You don't see the shoes, Joe.
It's just desk up.
Yeah, desk up. What's the
I
point
know.
of that?
I just give these puppies out for free.
Yeah,
Love of the game.
that's right. That's
The
right.
feet finder game.
Oh, wow. All right, next question.
Next question's from Shocked FRL. He said at the National Duels Lottery, last pick left, Stone Cold music comes on, Kale comes out, gives everyone a stunner, claims the last spot for Penn State.
man,
Would love to be stunned by a kill. That would be a double stunner.
dude, that would be crazy.
That'd be crazy.
Man, I can't wait for that. That's gonna be nuts.
The lottery?
The lotto is gonna be crazy.
When Kale stunners you?
When yeah,
And then chugs a Coors Light.
Yeah.
that would be the number one.
That would be the ultimate stunner. That would be the ultimate stunner. No, that'd be fun.
All right, next question is kind of like a choose your own adventure.
Okay, wow.
Sam Cooper said, if Spay is on, who is Spay's worst enemy and why?
Well,
the sun.
everyone knows
It's the sun.
He's very clear about his worst enemy in the world is the sun.
The next part of the question is, if he's not on, who would win Alex Facundo versus Gabe Arnold at 174?
I don't know. This sounds like a see and sudden victory type of match. I don't know who's getting that takedown in regulation. 74?
I lean Gabe, but that's based off of
They're kind of the Spider-Man meme. Like, not really much mat game. Kind of, they're duck guys, you know.
I say lean Gabe now because I have seen more data on him in the past 18 months than I have of Facundo at 174.
Yeah.
Right, and the data's been it faltered there at the end for Gabe, but it was pretty good.
Well, yeah. Well, we haven't seen Gabe at 184 in a while because it was last year. Was the last time we saw him there.
True. Yeah,
I think I would lean Facundo.
184.
Man, I don't know.
I think
The man who just tried to cut down to 57
Yeah, I think I would lean Gabe, but super close match.
I don't know, man.
did.
When he's at a good weight, like Facundo, maybe I'm lending too much credence to his Olympic trials win over Levi.
Bro loves freestyle.
Yeah.
Facundo's always been really good at freestyle.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was one of those dudes in high school, you know? So
Oh yeah, he's from Michigan. That's why you're saying this.
I'm not from Michigan.
He's from.
I said Facundo is from
I
Michigan.
know, but like I'm not from Michigan in the way that I care about Michigan high schoolers.
It's in your subconscious.
Yeah, you don't even know it's
You were
happening.
just around. You were around when he was in high school in Michigan.
I just think that he
He beat Cam Amin in high school.
I'm expecting
He just holds him in the highest regard possible.
I'm expecting a big year from Facundo.
Okay. I mean, I am too.
Yeah, I am too. Like I said, right now.
Like I said.
That could change, sometime under Coach David Taylor. We'll see.
Yeah, because he was only with Cale Sanderson.
Yeah. Next question is from Cornell Kevin. He said, can the U20 men's freestyle team we field this year outperform last year's team who won with team title and 9 out of 10 medals, only 1 gold? One half that team, this is kind of complicated for me to read, but you guys get the idea. His prediction is 3 gold, 8 out of 10 medals for this year's team.
That's a really, really strong performance if we do that. 9 out of 10 is an absurd performance.
It depends on what you consider a better performance, like 4 golds and 4 medals, or 9 and 1 gold. Like, how do you weight that kind of?
Well, we could have. So, I mean, here's I think a simple way to think about it is like we could have a lot of the same team potentially.
Yes.
Lilidol, Blaze, Bassett, Duke, Lockett, who was 79. A lot of the guys could be the same.
Rademacher?
Rodemaker's he's still eligible. He was 97. We're going to have to figure out, how do you make up for Ben Keeter at heavyweight?
And it looks like we're going to be all right. We didn't even talk about U20 heavyweight.
Dude,
to me, that's the best weight there is.
Let's talk about U20 heavyweight. We got Kobe Merrill.
Yes.
He's ranked #1 right now. We got Drayshawn Ross. We got Rocco Delgado, Rylan Kuhn, Michael Mako, and then Coy Hopke from Minnesota. Big impact guy there. So that weight class, heavyweight, is super interesting. I think that's one where we typically do pretty well internationally at heavyweight, and I think we can again.
That's what I'm saying. I think we're going to do really well there. I think we're in good shape. Someone's going to emerge.
If you go through that ground, you are battle tested enough to prove you are a medal threat at Worlds.
I mean, Mako was a U17 world champion already, right? Drayshawn feels like, who's the favorite, you think? Coy?
Yeah, I think Coy Hopke's probably the favorite.
Coy, Drayshawn, Merrill, Mako, probably something like that.
Now, this is the first time Coy has wrestled in a while, right? He's coming off of like a surgery or something he had that kept him off the mat this year.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. When he was still in high school and being ranked as a high schooler, he was ahead of these guys. But obviously, they're all super good.
Where's he wrestling in college?
Minnesota.
That's what I thought.
Gophers.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. Next question is from Daniel Overby. He wants to know.
He has a lot of questions.
We always talk about results. Well, you liked it, so.
I know.
We always talk about results, but who this weekend could gain the most respect without even winning it? Like the he's him kind of respect.
He, him.
Here's
Your answer should be Real Woods.
Real?
Yeah.
Because I feel like he's not getting a lot of respect right now, senior level.
I feel that way. Honestly, Kennedy Monday.
Yeah. But he said who could get the most respect without winning it? Don't you think Kennedy needs to win it
He
to
could
get
make
the
the
respect?
finals and lose to, I don't know, Dean Hamady close. That'll be a good match.
I mean, I think, if Kekheisen beats one of the top 3 guys there, if he beats Marcelo or Zahid or Dake, that would be, that'd be insane,
Could Dean?
Yeah.
Because
Either,
he's
takes
the
down-
biggest question in my mind.
And if he makes finals and takes down Kyle, I don't think he's ready to beat Kyle yet. But
that would be
okay. But if he just makes the finals by beating JIL, that's I think a lot of people would predict that. Right
No
now.
way. Based on what?
Based on that, he made a U23 world team.
Yeah, but
He was going to Wisconsin. I feel like his name is about
if
as
he beat
recognizable
JILO,
as JILO.
yeah, I don't think so.
I think a lot more. I think the casual wrestling fan, his name is about as familiar as JILO.
Well, perhaps, but then there's reality of what they've accomplished, and they're not close in terms of the number of elite wins JILO has in senior level, and just against these guys, he'd be a big favorite, I think.
No, and I think he is the favorite. I just meant, I don't know.
Yeah,
I was thinking about a big name bump.
Yeah,
I think JQ's could have a he's him moment.
That was kind of what was it, Olympic trials?
Yeah.
I feel
then if you think that, then you're too late.
What do you mean?
Catch up, Mustard. It's
Oh,
already
he already established
he's
that
there.
him.
Yeah.
I hate that you just said ketchup mustard.
No.
I didn't even realize. I thought you said ketchup Buster.
Buster, awful. I just started calling him Buster.
What's up, Buster?
Today.
Okay. Hold on. I lost all the questions.
Tight.
Give me a second. Okay. Next
I was
question.
having a he's him moment over here.
Next question is from 3 Point Takedown. He wants to know what the heck is happening at ASU from a Natty Champ 2 NCAAs ago to a one-way road out of Tempe to the portal.
I mean, yeah, I don't think there's cause for like long-term concern. It's not good, right, to lose that level of that much talent. But I think they got the Larkins coming in. They're going to be tough. I think maybe ASU was punching a little over their weight the last couple of years. They had some really awesome teams. So maybe they'll come back down a little bit, but I think they're going to settle and just be a really solid program for the future.
And you kind of have to have without Sunkist, it just sort of changes the model of how things are working over there. And so it's like, guys, a lot of the guys were bought into one way of doing things, and now they're gonna have to buy into a little bit different way.
Yeah.
Just financially. And once they get that established, here's the model, here's what we're doing, and get guys to buy in there, I think they'll be fine. You've seen, like a program like UNI doesn't have a huge financial backer like that, but they're just fine. And they're, they've got buy-in to what they're doing. Yeah. I think that's what ASU is gonna have to do.
Okay. Next question is from the real Avery Lynch. He said, you brought back a roundtable question. If college wrestling did a Hard Knocks show, what college would you like to see behind the scenes through a full season? I'll go first, Cornell University.
Well, I think a couple of answers. Well, who doesn't want to see a Penn State one?
Right.
Just to get a little bit of a sneak peek. Iowa would be crazy for sure. David Taylor, Oklahoma State for me.
North Carolina, Ferrari Factor.
Oh my gosh, Ferrari Factor.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the service academies. That'd be kind of a crazy.
One of the things that's really fun about Hard Knocks is when they have like a head coach that's like a really fun, like central character like throughout. I think North Carolina, like Rob Cole could be that, he'd be entertaining.
Yeah, he'd shoot you straight on the wrestlers. That's for sure.
100%.
Didn't we kind of do something like that with Cornell with Rob?
The program. It was
yeah.
called the program.
Long eons ago.
Like 10 years ago or something?
Yeah, maybe more than that.
I love the scene where they're all calling fundraising.
They
They
got
prank
Nishon,
Nashon.
Well, one of the things that's like really interesting about Hard Knocks is when they do the seasons that are through training camp, but they have to make cuts. Like those are super interesting TV. And now that we got the roster cap, maybe we got to do some cuts.
And then like wrestle offs are kind of cuts in a way. There's lots of ways to make kids incredibly sad.
Yeah,
you could film.
That's true.
When you think about it.
Yeah.
Literally, we say Budkeyed like
Yes.
a decent amount.
Yeah.
100%.
And that came from a season on the mat.
Next question is from Zev Post. He said, what is worse, an Avery roundtable question or not knowing if Burroughs is retired? Also, I'm still convinced that Avery is Tyler's burner account.
I can confirm that's not the case. What is worse? Ooh. Avery's questions.
I think Avery's roundtable questions are worse than knowing if Burroughs is retired.
Because if he
You
had
like
said,
being teased.
yeah, well, it's like, at least in this reality, Jordan Burroughs could wrestle.
That's true.
He's not retired. Now, if he said Jordan Burroughs is 100% retired, I'd be like, well, that's worse. But you know what? I look to the hopefulness of that question.
Why are you pretending like you don't love Avery's roundtable questions?
I like roundtable questions. I like Avery. But the combination has not worked thus far.
Okay. Next question is from HD Water. He said, Max McAnally, Angelo Ferrari, Rocco Wells, Zach Ryder, or the field. Who you taking it to win 184 2026?
Man, it'd be tough to take the field
Yeah.
with those guys there. I think it's Max or Angelo at the start. I'd probably pick Angelo right now.
Me too.
I lock in Max.
You locking him in?
Dude, he's so good.
He is so good.
You're locking him in, though?
Right now,
Can't hop off?
No, he's locked.
That's
You
what
just
locked
locked in.
He's locked.
yeah, we're all making. You're locked on your two picks.
Yeah,
I'm not locked.
I'm locked.
You're on that flag.
It's planted.
Planted the flag. All right. Next question is from Math Cougar. He said, our top college coaches all had legendary competitive careers. With the new hire of Roper, what other coaches come to mind whose coaching accomplishments far surpassed their accomplishments as athletes?
Mark Manning.
Mark Manning, Pat Pop, Brian Smith, Kale.
That's actually true, though. kind of.
Low-key, maybe.
He
Yeah.
only won everything there was to win.
Yeah, but he only won not a lot, but many people win one Olympic title. He's the second greatest college wrestling coach of all time, arguably one.
He won more national titles as a coach than he did as an athlete. I'll tell you that much.
That's true.
That's just undeniable.
That's true. John Smith did that too.
Yeah.
So, next question. The Ultimate Husker fan, he said, what is the most likely NCAA matchup preseason in any weight? Number 2, prediction of who Nebraska's 149 and heavyweight is this year.
At 41 is Mendez Hardy. Although we don't know what Blaze is doing. We don't know who Penn State's wrestling there. 25, no way there's one that's clear. 33, there's not a clear one. Oh, 49 might be with Van Ness and Henson. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All due respect to Eluded.
And Waters is probably going up, right?
Think so, yeah.
Okay.
I think he'd like to. 65. I mean, honestly, Messenbrink Caliendo.
Yeah, that's it.
Caliendo was kind of far and away the second best guy. Mitchell, obviously.
Now, is there any way D Lockett shakes that up?
That's the only thought in my mind, and I that feels like we're
we got to see
ahead
it.
of it. Yeah,
We got to see it.
All right. Next question's from Donk Lesnar. He said, in freestyle, if guy A goes up 8-0 with 2 4s and guy B scores a 4 and 4 push-outs, is guy B in the lead? Do I have to count the quantity of score types to figure out criteria?
Guy A is in the lead.
Guy A is in the lead.
2 4s beats a 4 and 4 1s. So criteria is highest amplitude moves, and that could involve like the combination thereof, and then.
This is a strange combination.
Then this is a strange combination. Second one is cautions. Third criteria is last score.
All right, next question's from Hedgehog
Thank
Day.
you, Donk.
He said, who will tech through the U.S. Open?
Kyle Snyder.
Yeah. Kyle could.
Trent probably won't.
Trent, maybe.
He was my second pick as like the biggest favorite.
No way anyone at 65 does, in my opinion.
No.
I don't think anyone at 70 will. I don't think Carr will tech his way, although I think there could be more separation there than people realize. Maybe White Hendricks.
Fluke's your pick, but I don't think he's going to tech his way through.
No, I think Kyle's the best answer.
All right.
Lamely.
Alex Ashauer wants to know, since you have said you believe Cody Merrill is a 184, word all over. What? Why are you laughing?
You go Ashar.
Ashauer. Is that not how you pronounce it?
The way you said it was really funny.
Alex
There
Ashauer.
was a little growl in it.
I was trying to figure out how to pronounce it. Since you have said you believe Cody Merrill is 184, word all over Twitter is Braden Thompson is well over 200 and that Zach Ryder wrestled 79 kg a year ago. What are the odds that Oklahoma State's lineup looks something like 174 Zach Ryder, 184 Cody Merrill, 197 Braden Thompson?
Yeah, that's an option. You could see that. I think Cody is not a big 97-pounder.
But he is going 92 kg, at the Open, which seems like if he was thinking 84, he'd try to make 86.
Yes, I agree with that. This could happen. I don't think that's the best weight for Braden, and I feel like for Merrill, 84, 97, I think probably he's going to do really well at both. So, but. Yeah, Ryder at 74. Maybe if Facundo goes down, redshirt D, should be open to that possibility.
Okay. Next one is from City Wrestling Guy. He said, what do y'all think of beach wrestling? Do you send any crew to North Carolina?
I think it's a cool thing to do. I don't think there's any fans or potential for fans of beach wrestling. But you never know. You never know. People watch F1 racing. I don't understand that, but people love it. Do we send any crew? We should send Tyler and make him enter. I feel like Tyler would be,
That would be fun.
Tyler would be good at beach wrestling.
I would love to do that.
It would just be like a beach wrestling commercial.
I feel like you don't have to be in amazing shape. Am I crazy? Like cardio shape.
You are crazy to think
The
that.
matches are pretty fast.
That's the whole point. Is
Wait, are you saying you do need to be in crazy
I
shape?
think you don't need to be in super strong
okay, yeah.
cardiovascular shape. You obviously need to be in good shape to be able to wrestle well.
Yeah.
But I don't think your lungs need to be in tip top to succeed in beach wrestling.
Definitely not. The exchanges, by nature, can't be long because you can't go down to the, I say mad. But
I think you can only touch a knee if you get the takedown or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or like,
You have to immediately. It's like you can't shoot and then finish. It's like
yeah.
You can't like
it comes
finish
down
out
as
the
you are
back door or
finishing.
anything. I guess.
no.
Wow.
And if you get 1 feet to back, it's just over.
Yeah, done. That's sick.
That's just what I would do.
Yeah, right?
Bombing dudes.
That's what I would do. And you like the circle smaller, so you can get push outs a little easier.
Yep.
I would have a lot. I actually looked into competing. There was one in close to my hometown. I was looking into going home last year and doing it, but we ended up being at some other event.
A bunch of the 512 Outlaws went last summer, and they like had the best time.
Yeah.
They're like, this was so fun. You know, all this stuff. Like, if you get smoked, it's like so fast and not like,
Yeah.
Whatever.
And worst case scenario, you get beat and you're at the beach. So
beach.
Exactly. No, there's the Open is in Huntington Beach, which is like 30 minutes from my hometown.
Dang.
I was like, maybe I'll plan a trip home, but I think it was while we were at the Olympics or something like that.
Oh. Sorry, we had to
Big
step on your
opportunity
little
missed.
plan.
We got to end our questions. HD Water has 2 questions. He said, also 8 Mile Tyler versus JD Hobo Chic versus Spay Hawaiian Shirt versus Kozak Funky Shoes. Whose style would you say is the worst and best?
So when I read funky
Doesn't
shoes,
have funky shoes.
yeah. So I guess he means funky in that they're like disgusting. Like he wears the same shoes for like 6
Not
years
anymore.
straight. I know he got the new one. So they're not funky. They're literally like the most down the line.
I feel like JD wears his shoes out more than Kozak, no?
Oh yeah.
But no, JD, Kozak wears the same pair of shoes like every day, the same white Reeboks every day. He doesn't like mix them up. JD, you got the white Velcros, you got the clogs, you got the dad shoes, the Nike ones. What are those called?
The Air Monarchs.
The Monarchs to our king. Yeah, he's got a rotation. Kozak is just a single shoe man. That's the difference. But I guess we have to answer our question. I think Spay's shirts are pretty iconic.
His tops.
I still wouldn't describe
top
my
space.
style as 8 Mile, but
Everyone's calling it. I thought we had more questions than this. I'm pretty sure I liked more.
wow.
Did we not like more questions?
there might be like one more or something. I think I made through most of them. We got one more about the anti-singlet movement. Well, I told you I had one more question from HD Water, but you didn't finish answering this one.
Oh, I said Space Hawaiian shirts.
Okay. And then he followed up with something kind of mean.
Oh, this one.
He said, how did Tyler honestly get a job? I have a feeling the guy's rubbish in a job interview.
And I like this for good reason, because I don't know how you think Tyler comes off on this show, but Tyler is he was a great interview. We knew immediately I wanted to hire him as soon as the interview happened, because Bader was gassing him up, and I was like, well, we'll see. We'll see, Bader.
Very kind of you to
relax.
to bring that question on the show and defend me.
Well, that was the whole reason I wanted to do it. So yeah, Tyler's very conscientious. He's good in those kinds of things. I mean, what a deception that was.
I got you.
No, just kidding.
The only other question we had is from Daniel Overby again. He said, what's going on with the anti-singlet movement? It feels like it has died down quite a bit since TR Foley's mailbag went away.
This is the first I'm hearing of the mailbag going away. I
think it's still up and
I
running.
think it's still rocking and rolling, last I heard.
What's TR Foley's mailbag?
It was on Intermat.
How dare you.
Got a lot to learn about this sport.
How dare you?
Okay.
You didn't ask about that question in the interview.
Yeah, I didn't ask him about you, so I assume you have no idea who Mike C is.
I don't.
Mike C was the guy who asked a question every week on TR Foley's mailbag, and everyone fully believes that Mike C was just TR. TR's a good guy. I mean, we're doing our part. It's tough. There's deep, look, I have a singlet right here. Look at me.
I would say you see more two-piece uniforms now than you did 10 years ago. You just don't hear a lot of like conversation about
I see
it.
him a lot at like youth tournaments and competitions. It's
High school level, like
We still do it. Who's number one?
yes.
you'll see them, you'll see like some like D1 level, like
Maryland?
Maryland does it. Missouri does it.
I think didn't UNC have a two-piece at one
Yes.
point this year? Like there've been teams do it. I don't know.
Why it's not like an argument really anymore? Probably just because it got real hot for a year or two, like 5-7 years ago, and if you were anti-singlet, you didn't win that fight. So you threw in the towel.
Yeah.
What about that?
What you can
What
get.
about that Russian league where they basically wear like basketball uniforms?
And then
Oh yeah.
Rust Ball, where then they just take off their shirts.
I don't even know about that one.
What's this called? Should I look it up?
Rust Ball.
Jason Nolf wrestled in that Russian league and he had like a basketball uniform on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like shorts.
Yeah.
It's fine.
that was great.
There was so there's some questions from last show that I didn't ask. Daniel Overby actually asked this one. I thought this was good. What's the most wrestling cliche thing coaches say that means absolutely nothing but sounds really intense?
It's got to be wrestle here, right?
And he goes, he's got to move his feet, squeeze, get tough here, etc. Wrestle.
Well,
It's good.
Whenever I think about this question, I remember a day when there was a participatory jiu-jitsu event here in Austin.
Oh, man.
We went with Andrew Spey, and it's this giant ballroom, and we're in like the early prelims. So there's like, the crowd is like 30 people.
Yeah.
Nobody. And it's just kind of, entry-level jiu-jitsu going on. And Spey is just in the crowd just yelling, use it. And he's like, work from here. And everyone's like looking at him like, what is wrong with you?
And then now finish. Because apparently those were the basically 3 go-tos for Steve Spey, his father, in the crowd. And so he just thought he would use them here, and he used them all night, and it was cracking us up.
It was amazing.
And we still say that all the time.
All the time.
Around the office. That's a good one. Wrestle here is great. I like a good one, a tough one you see in the Shenandoah Valley. This is a tough one. The coaches try to look like smart. So like if a kid's about to get smoked, they'll say something totally stupid like watch out for the shots. And then when they take him down, they're just like, I told him watch out. That's some really, you snooty people in Iowa and Pennsylvania, you don't even understand what I'm talking about, but that's real life.
One of the ones I see out at like high school tournaments a lot is when like the coach will like yell like the kid's name a bunch of times to get his attention, like when they go out of bounds or something.
Yeah.
Hey, and then the kid looks, and then he's just like,
Let's go.
It's like, what? Like, why?
That drives me crazy. I'm like, Caleb, let's go. All right.
Did you need his attention for that?
Yeah. A lot of the words from the coaching corner are just their own anxieties. Just
Yeah.
going out in real life.
You think that you're going to be able to like transfer your energy onto them.
Doesn't help.
Doesn't really work.
Does not help. Anything else?
I was expecting to be dunked on, but I didn't quite get dunked on. I put in our chat, would you hire Tyler? And I got 61% yes.
See? 39% no, but 39% of those, they could be like, Masons.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't hire you to be a Mason.
Yeah, that's true.
Who
Right?
knows what profession they're working in?
Yeah, exactly. That's a big part of it.
You're not even in the union.
You should honestly ask, yeah. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, you're not even in the union. You don't even know anything about the local 37.
Yeah. So
Like, yeah, you don't have the makings of a future stevedore.
yeah, you're no pipe fitter.
Never fit a pipe. All right. I think once we start talking stevedores and pipe fitters, it's probably time for the show to end. But we do thank you guys for tuning in for a special Tuesday. Special thanks to Massoma Endene for hopping on. JD's got something.
We will be back next Tuesday because we are traveling back Monday, 2 p.m. Central.
Great programming note from JD. And of course, yes, the U.S. Open starts tomorrow. In reality, you can watch March Bader. March Bader is what they called him when it came Big 12 time. He was when the lights were on. Bader shone brightest. But yeah, U.S. Open starting tomorrow. Women's freestyle, Greco. Everything's happening. It's gonna be an amazing couple days of wrestling. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you out there. If you're in Vegas, come say hey. We'd love to meet you. And yeah, thanks again for listening. See you soon.